So this video shows the solution of exercise 6.3 of the exercise book on Access. In particular, this exercise focuses on the database disk song that keeps track of discs and artists who are performing either as playing instruments or authoring part of the songs. So the first, let's start with select simple query as usual. So the first query asks us to returns the names of authors in alphabetical order given the title of a song. So let's first of all have a look at the database. So there are 4 tables: authorship, discs, performing, persons, and song. So for example, the table persons includes the names of artists. Note that the field name is unstructured, so we have names and surnames together, but this makes sense because often artists use nicknames. Then we have the songs with the song title, the track in the disc where the song is stored, disc ID, the disc table with the primary key and then the title and the year of production. And then we have the 2 junction table, authorships and performing that links artists with songs. So the first query, we have to provide a song title, like for instance, let's consider Buoni o Cattivi, and then going through the performing table, the authorship table, the query must return the corresponding authors in alphabetical order. So create query wizard, simple query. So we need first of all the title of the song. This is something that we have to ask to the user. So we'll have that criteria. Field text. Then we need the table person with the person name. Now, next. Call this Q01, modify, finish. Sorry, I didn't open in the design view. I don't need. Okay. So you see that Access selects the table, the junction table authorships automatically, even if I select only the field title from the table song and the field name from the table person. So if I just run this query, as we saw before, I will get a list of songs and corresponding persons. I want to get the authors of a specific song, so I have to add a criteria here in the criteria field. And in order to ask to the user a name of title, I can use a district, so square brackets, song title, question mark. So since there are no fields named song title question mark in the tables that we selected, Access will ask the user to provide a name. So let's see if it works. Run Buoni o Cattivi. Okay. And this is empty, of course, because I selected one of the songs where there's no authorship in the database. So let's give it another try. Let me check here in the authorship table. So I have, for instance, song 004 is authored by person 002 as text writer. So song 004 is Kids. So let's see what happens. Design view, run, Kids. Okay, and I have Elton John as author. So I can now save and close query Q1. The second question, sorry, no, there is I forgot that authors must be in alphabetical order in case some songs may have, there are songs that have multiple authors and I want to show them in alphabetical order. So for instance, let me check here, see that 007 has 2 authors. One is the text writer and one is the arranger. 007 is Angels. So let's see, first of all, how I have to modify the query in order to display the authors in alphabetical order. So I open Q001 in design view. And then simply here in the field person, I select sort ascending. So let's see if it is true. Run angels. Okay. And you see that they have three authors. I don't know if they are actually authors of this song anyway. So Elton John, Ligabue, Vasco Rossi. Of course, since the name is not structured, they are sorted starting from the first part of the. I mean, the name is treated as a string, and so Access uses the first letter to sort the names, even if that uh, is the person name, not the surname. So it just sorts strings. Save and close. The second query, we have to return all songs with a piano performance, and we want to display the title of the song and the name of the performer, who is of course performing as a piano. Okay, so in this way we have to use the performing table. So create query wizard. Okay. So we have song title. Then from the table performing, I want instruments because I have to put there a criteria, a filter. I want to select only the piano performer, only the songs with a piano performance, and then person name. Next, next, Q02, modify the query design, finish. So this will list all the songs with all the performing persons. I want only to consider piano performance. So I write here quotes piano in the criteria field of the instrument column. Run. Okay, so I have only piano. Actually, the exercise it is very explicit in this case, and it says display title and name of the performers. So I don't want to display the instrument, even because that's piano. I know it because I want only the entries whose instrument is piano, so I don't want to display it. So I have to unflag here the show option. So run, and then I can close the query. Query number 3, we want to show the performers who play guitar and whose first name is Elton. Okay, Q03, build a query that shows the performers who play guitar and whose first name is Elton. So let's go back to our database, create query wizard. Okay. So here we need from performing, we need the instrument. And from persons, we need the name. Next, Q03, modify, finish. So here the first criteria on the instrument is very simple. We just add to add in the criteria field quotes guitar. For what concerns the person name, we have to use expression like quotes Elton star. So this means that Access will look for entries in the name field that starts with Elton and then followed by whatever. So run, so guitar Elton John. Save and close also this query. The next query is particular because we want to return the discs whose title is equal to one of the songs, and of course we'll return the title, the disc title and the song title. So this is particular because we have to create a filter using the criteria field using the value of another field in the database. Okay, so create query wizard. Okay. Okay, so in principle we need only the disk title here. But then that would be not enough because we need to check also the song titles. Song title. Note that now, since I have the two fields title, they have the same name title. So note that Access shows also the table name here, while in the previous case I only had the field name. Next, Q04, modify, finish. And so here in the field criteria, I can use the builder also, or I can write directly here. So in the song, I can use disk title. Okay. So note that there is this field disk title is a virtual, so Access automatically created a virtual field called disk underscore title. That is the field title from the table disk. Okay, I can also use disk exclamation mark title. Okay. So let's run, and you see the result. Note that the name of the field has been changed. So I can remove, I can show only the titles. Okay, and in particular, note again that the field name has been automatically modified using a virtual field. Run, save, and close. Then the fifth query is a summary one, because you want to return the disks containing more than two songs. Okay, to return the disks containing more than two songs. So I have a summary query where I group the disks. I don't have to group disks here because they are individual, but then I have to count the number of songs and put a criteria larger than 2. So create query wizard. Okay. So table disk title. Table song, I can use the ID, whatever, because I have to count the entries. So whatever is fine. Next, I create a simple query and then I convert it to summary query. I call it Q05. I open it in modify design, modify view, finish. I convert it in summary query using the totals, and then I change here the total in the song to count. So let's run the current version without adding the criteria. So this will list all the disks with the number of songs in the disks. Okay. So you see that for some songs I have less than I have two songs. So design view. So to list only the disks with more than two songs, you have to add here larger than 2 in the criteria field. I can either display or not display the title here. The exercise doesn't say anything, so I can remove these results. I know that there are more than 2 songs. Run, save, and close. So let's go to part B. So I have to build a form, F1, to view disks with their songs. So I want the form so I can browse through disks, and then for each disk I have given a disk, I can browse through the songs of the disks of that disk. I have to lock the form to avoid disk insertions and song modifications. So back to our database access, create form wizard. So here I have disks title, song title, next. So this is why I want to, view the data by disk. So I have disk title and then song title. datasheet. Okay, I call the form F1 and the subform with songs F1 subform. I want to open the query in the design view. Takes a while. Okay. So now I am in the F1 design view. So property sheet form data, avoid disk insertion. So addition, allow addition. I select to no, so I cannot add any new disk. Then I double click on F1 subform, form data. Here I want songs modification is not allowed, so edit. No. Okay, so I go back to F1. There we are. So you see I can browse here the different disks, and then for each disc I have some songs. Okay, note that I am at the last song. I cannot add anything. Okay, I could in principle add songs, but sorry, I could in principle add songs. Okay, so sorry, there was an error. So in order to actually modify the subform, I have to save it. So allow edits, no, file, save, file, close, and then you see that, oops, you see that I'm not allowed to edit fields anymore, songs anymore. Now the remaining 2 points of the Access exercises are about report. So I want to display a report display person by person the songs this person has authored. So I cannot do it directly with a report because a report will just list everything. So all the person, whether this person authored or not something. So I have to create first of all another query. So let me close this one. Create query wizard. Next. Okay. So I have person name and then song title. Next. Next, I call it R report one, R1, modify, finish. Okay, so there was list songs. Sorry, the computer died. Okay, songs with the person who authored the song. Okay, close. Of course, I have to save it. Now create report wizard. From query R1, I want name and title. Next. By person, so person name with title. Next. The exercise doesn't explain whether the entries should be ordered in some way, so I skip this part, sorted some way. I like the block layout. I call it R1, preview the report, finish. Okay, so this is the report. I have the names of the authors with all the songs where they are authors somehow. Close. The final point is build a report to display person by person, again, all songs in which this person performed. Okay, so this is very similar to the previous one, but we have to be careful to create a query where we use the other table. So create query wizard, simple query. So I have again person name, song title, next, next, R2, modify, finish. So you see that the Access selects the authorship table. I'm not interested in the authorship table, so I will remove the table, right click, show tables, and then I add a performing table. Okay. So I run this query, and now I have all the authors with the songs where this person performed something. So I can save, close. Then I can very easily create a report wizard using the query R2 name and song title. Next. By person again, next. Block outline, next. R2, finish. So this exercise completes the this report completes the exercise 6.3 and also completes all the exercise on Access in the exercise book. So all the exercise in chapter 6.